My voice might be a little hoarse. It's like a combination of the seasonal allergies and the breathing tube. So I had a hysterectomy on Wednesday, April 23rd. 4 days ago now, I went home that night. I didn't have the surgery until like 3 p.m. And I wanted to share because in order to prepare myself for the surgery, usually helpful for me. And once again, I know the title of this channel is Homestaying, and this is all going to help me heal so I can do more of what my biggest goals are, which is being more self-sustainable and establishing a permaculture farm on our 1 acre we have here in Kentucky. I'm really happy to say that a few weeks before surgery, I was extremely nervous, and thanks to other people who have gone before me and shared their experiences, people who shared positive affirmations. I went into surgery being very happy. Hey, Martin, how are you doing? I hope you're enjoying spring weather wherever you are. The weather is so great here. And I wanted to, because, okay, I should say this first. Disclaimer, this is going to be about medical things, female issues in particular. I'm not holding much back, and I'm going to try to use nice language. If that's not your cup of tea, I appreciate the support, but this is really to help people who are on the same path, people who might be helping others on the same path. It's fairly something that I expect to happen to everybody as smoothly as it did for me. I'm just sharing my experience in hopes that it does help somebody, but it's just like birth. Every experience is going to be different. Every woman is different, and every labor and pregnancy is different. It is something that I'm not saying because I chose all these things, it would work out the same for another woman because there's so many variables that can be present. Good, Martin. It is absolutely beautiful here too. And I'm just going to a few points I wanted to make. I'm not going to be able to sit out here for a long amount of time. I'm feeling pretty overall, but still incredibly sore right now. And there's gas pains. They put gas in your abdomen, and that goes up into your shoulders. So I've been having gas pains in my shoulders, which I was prepared for, but it's not pleasant. Still, it being the unpleasant part, though, 4 days out of major surgery, I'm very pleased with that. And so I wanted to start with this. There's a lot of women that want to get a hysterectomy. There's a lot of women that have been to multiple doctors trying to get one, and I was one of those women, and I was diagnosed with PCOS at 16, always had issues with my cycles. Then at the age of 28, I had my first really bad pap smear. Into 10 years of bad pap smears, cervical dysplasia. I had 4 biopsies, unsuccessful LEAP procedure where they tell you they were going to just burn the top layer of your cervix off. And I do not want to scare any woman out of any of these procedures because cervical cancer is something you absolutely should do everything you can to avoid to get. But they gaslight us. People need to know. They tell you you're just going to get a layer burnt off. This guy cut out a rolling die size of flesh. He held it up to me and he said it's about the size of a rolling die. And I was awake, and I was nursing my baby at the time, so I wanted to be awake, but had I known that he was really gonna cut out that much from my cervix, not just burn the layer off like they kept telling me was gonna happen, like, been put to sleep. And then I had to drive myself home in excruciating pain in rush hour traffic. And, oh, thank you so much, Red Hair, for saying that. I've lost a bunch of weight lately. I don't really feel like quite myself in that way, so that really is appreciated. And love red hair. I have a thing for red hair. I think red hair is so beautiful, and the things that make it can be so beautiful. And so I just wanted to tell people that after years of searching, 5 doctors turned me down. I've had 10 years of cervical precancerous lesions, and 5 doctors told me it had to become advanced care in order for them to give me a hysterectomy. One of those was an oncologist herself because I decided to go straight to an oncologist because I was like, "Isn't this crazy? All these other doctors are saying until it becomes advanced cancer, meaning they'd have to take my ovaries and much more out and, like, maybe give me radiation and chemo. Why go through that?" You know, Jolie gets put on the cover of Time magazine for being proactive about removing organs that might give her cancer, literal precancerous lesions for 10 years. And 2 of those 5 doctors said, "It's not your body unable to fight this infection. It's your husband cheating on you and bringing back the exact same 2 bad strains of HPV. Like, your body cleared it, but your husband is cheating on you and bringing back the same 2 strains of HPV." Hey, how are you doing, Shaw? Shaw to the T. Happy Sunday to you. These are the things that women go through, like medical gaslighting. This is serious. Cervical cancer is serious. And so many people and people that were well-meaning in my life told me, "Lydia, you need to just stick with one doctor. Quit bouncing around different doctors." But I may have saved by refusing to stick with one doctor who was refusing to give me surgery until cancer cells became why? So I found this doctor in Louisville, the city I am from, the city I was born in. Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky have great medical care. The state of Kentucky might not have the best medical care overall, like the way we rank and everything, but Louisville and Lexington sure do make up for it. And it, it was like a godsend. Within 10 minutes of meeting her, she agreed to give me a hysterectomy. She said, "I'd give you a hysterectomy for any one of your issues, let alone all of them." And so I had to ask her, like, why? Why did so many doctors refuse to give me one? And for you, it's like not even a question. And like she said, a lot of doctors, they don't do a lot of surgeries and they don't want to. So I took as her saying they're not as confident in their surgical skills as a doctor like her that does do a lot of surgeries. So I just wanted to put this out there. If you're trying to get a hysterectomy and you've been going for a doctor, try a doctor, maybe in a bigger city if you aren't in a city, a doctor that does do a lot of surgery. They are going to be so much more apt to listen to you and take you seriously. The doctor here in town, this little town, well, the 10 of us, he told me I needed another LEAP procedure yet again. For like every procedure makes it, my life is more painful. I've dealt with chronic pain from all these procedures in my cervix. I already feel relief from not having messed up cervix in my body. And I could have said that on day 2. It was amazing. And it just is a testament to the things we go through as women. A lot of women said that. I had so many women telling me, "You're going to feel better. This is the best decision I ever made." And like, if you are suffering one, but 2, 3, like female conditions, like it is a godsend. And yeah, I just want to let people know if you keep getting turned down, try a surgeon in a bigger city. It's that simple. I wish I would have came across that information 5 years ago, but then again, I didn't have good of health insurance as I do now. And I don't know if that plays a part into it or not really, honestly, but I am very grateful for it. Here in America, this is an example of how weird our healthcare is. Get this. My surgery is $54,000. I have Anthem health insurance and they paid like 18,000 out of what they paid. I owe 2,200. Amazing. I am so thankful for that. That is fine. We have to get on a payment plan. I'll be fine. More than happy to make that bill every month in lieu of not having to suffer. I'll be able to work more now that I got this surgery. But I just wonder, where did it all go? You know what I mean? It's like, so Anthem paid 18,000. I only have to pay 2,000 of that. Where does that, like 30,000, where does that, what happened to all of that? What is going in our healthcare system? I'd like to think the surgeon that helped me got tens of thousands of dollars that day, but I don't think she did. And I know it has a lot to do with the overhead and administrative fees, and it's worrisome. Like, what is healthcare going to be like for my kids at my age, at 38 years old? Like, this is so weird. And isn't that crazy? $54,000. My insurance paid 18,000. Where does what happened with the rest of the bill? Okay. I just wondered if anybody watching this could ever answer that, if you're really interested to know. And as somebody who like leans towards more natural things, I like homeopathy. I know it's like I'm so grateful that I could get it done, but it doesn't seem right. But I don't mean that towards my doctor at all. She is an absolute angel on earth. When I saw her in the pre-op room, I didn't recognize her for a second because she had the hairnet on, and like I had only seen her for like 3 appointments before where she's like in, her she wears to the office. And so she was in scrubs for the first time with her hair all put up. And it was so like I saw her and like I felt instant, like, I don't it felt like I saw an angel. I don't care what that sounds like. I smiled so big, I didn't even and then I recognized her, I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's you, of course, that's why I'm so happy to see you." I was so happy and grateful. They didn't give me the calming medicine. Every nurse was like, "You're so calm." Like, I'm so happy. I'm so ready for this. My body is going to heal, learn a lot of lessons from this. I was just so thankful to be in a good hospital. I know it's like crazy expensive, but I have decent insurance because I am a factory worker and like some good things do come to those who wait. And gosh, I say that and then I feel survivor's guilt because I know it's an issue with a lot of people trying to get a hysterectomy. They don't have good insurance and that is an issue. And to I want to help people with that. I don't know how I can help people with that, but where there's a will, there's a way. And I know it's really hard, harder than ever that now though to get healthcare. And people talk about the Obamacare. I tried before. Actually, I tried that when I was going through all this stuff with my cervix. and the providers were so far away, and it was like I literally couldn't use it. So, and then it took us months to get our taxes done because they said my husband got it when he didn't, which was weird. And it took us months to figure out like that's why our taxes weren't going through because like he was making payments for Obamacare. He literally never made one payment. So, anyways, here comes my cat. Can you come up here? So now I feel like I'm a little rambly. I wanted to say that like don't settle for one doctor that won't treat you the way you feel like your symptoms could or should be treated. Find somebody who's confident in their surgical skill. And a lot of women have a lot of great advice out there. There's like already plenty of people talking about one of the worst things posting with, bowel movements and the gas that is like just in your body, goes up to your shoulders. And I found two products that I haven't seen anybody else mention that I'm just not big on polyethylene glycol. I did take it once after surgery. They ordered it for me, and I was like, "Oh, I've never, that's Miralax." But since then, every day I've been taking this Colace that's like magnesium citrate. It's not the Colace, it's that weird sodium that actually dries your bowels up. But this stuff really seems to work well. And it's got like, no food dyes. It's purple carrot juice concentrate for like the dye and stuff. So I would really recommend this Colace magnesium citrate active ingredient as well as for the gas, the bloat, this Wonder Belly brand off Amazon, easy chewable simethicone, I might not wrong, tablets. Um, and of course, I'm still like big on my probiotics. The Flora Store is really important to also maintain that. And I've had very minimal issues in that way. A lot of women say that's like the worst thing. I've had very, very minimal pain. And I think a lot of it has to do with really as well as a good mindset, like really resting well, good hydration and good nutrition. And I've been sleeping horribly for weeks now, but I still am like making myself rest. The next best thing you can do. Thank you, Sha. I really appreciate that. So it's been 4 days post-op, and today was the first day that I could like stretch. Like it was just what I wanted to do when I first woke up. I could stretch without feeling like there was some kind of like pulling on my stomach. That way I can actually stand up all the way. It's great, but it's still important to really take it easy the first few weeks. I'm blessed to be able to take some time off work. I saw a woman on YouTube who works for a neurosurgeon, and they gave me days. It wasn't even 3 days off because she had it on a Friday and she went back to work on a Tuesday. They really gave her like 2 days off plus a weekend, like a doctor's office. Just the things that some women go through. And it should be a normal part of life. It shouldn't be something that makes you have to go get major surgery to remedy to be able to like live your life. But it seems like with a lot of other ailments, it is happening more and more. And I could be wrong. Maybe that's like you get a car and then you see it more because you own that car. I just got a hysterectomy, so now I'm learning how many it is the second most common surgical procedure in our country for a reason. And it is something that I'm hoping what I'm getting ready to do out in the garden, everything I'm getting ready to plant, it will help supplement and healing. And, we'll talk a lot more about that then when the time comes. But right now, my heart really goes out to every woman that's been through this, that is going through it, and it like has a prospect of maybe getting the surgery and is really scared about it because there are a lot of horror stories out there. Like the sooner you can retrain your mind, the better. And I experienced this with giving birth. Once again, I don't think every woman should give birth naturally, but it will be something that you can do for the rest of your life if you know how to get out of your head. And it's something a lot of us women, I don't want to say it like that, like the hysterical woman, but the women who have bigger emotions, women who have more empathy than they know what to do with. And there's a lot to be said about it, what we go through collectively. I really do feel that very strongly right now. And it helps when you're going through anything. Your ancestors stand before you. Somebody has been through this, like 100 people have been through this 100 times before, and everything is going to be okay. You're going to get through it, and there's a reason you still are here. It's night at your place, 2:52 a.m. Oh, that's cool, Black gamers. Yeah, I'm in my backyard. I don't really, my chickens are right over here. Can you see the girls? I should have been showing them more. Where at in Kentucky? Well, I make videos about Titus Morris, who has mistreated animals and children in the past. I don't wanna say the exact county, I'm sorry, but I'm in South Central Kentucky. I know where Letcher County is, I can't really think of it right now. Technically in the foothills of Appalachia. We are in a county that's Appalachia. And I'm from Louisville. I grew up mostly in Southern Indiana. I lived in California and Florida as well, but we kept coming back to Kentucky. Me and my husband lived here in our early 20s, and then we moved down to Florida, and then we moved back. Well, we moved to Indiana, then we moved back here because it's so great. My dogs love to run around here too. We just got the biggest garden plot tilled that I've ever had tilled. Both properties we've lived at here in South Central Kentucky in the past few years, we didn't even have to ask neighbors. We just had neighbors that know we like to garden, and when they're tilling their plots, they come down the road with their tractor and they're like, "Hey, you want us to till you a plot?" It's so nice. So, just an example of like the kind of community if that's what you want, that's what you like, living out in the countryside and stuff, and we just found out we can get a truckload of mulch for $90 delivered, which is great. Like, literally everything is cheaper here, everything. Can imagine. Letcher County sits right next to Pike County on the Virginia border. Oh, wow, you're way out east. A diamond in the sticks. I like your name. Um, oh, yes, I was just telling my sister about that case. Do you know anything about that? Christina Randall, a YouTuber, pretty big YouTuber, I think she made the most comprehensive video I saw, and that was, like, months ago. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Seems my experience is, like, corruption can take place almost everywhere, but I really like the cops here in my county. Speaking of which, I got pulled over going 66 and a 55. I've been taking antibiotics because I had 10 days before surgery. I went to the urgent care, got a steroid shot. I'm like, I have got to resolve this before I go into surgery. It's still not really resolved. But so I was driving home fast because those antibiotics were doing a number on my stomach. It was like 3 a.m. And the cop's like, I got you doing 66 and your license plate light is out. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm on these antibiotics coming home from work. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. All that light fixed. He's like, okay, okay. And then he's like, backs off. Like every single time I've been pulled over here, which is a handful of times, the cops act like they are bothering me, like they don't want to bother me, they're so nice. I've never lived in a place where cops are like that. In a place like that. Yeah, it's the best place we've ever lived for a number of reasons. And we live in cities in Florida. I met my husband in Orlando, Florida when we were very young. I was only 8. I know very little, but I did have a few videos talking about it, but not put in my titles yet or talked about it. Oh, I see. Yeah, I actually have family that's in law in Indiana, law enforcement. Yeah, from what it sounded like that I'm not saying I shouldn't have taught it on a live. See, that's the thing about lives, you might say something you can't take back or that would come across the wrong way, like, nobody deserves to lose their life like that, but what was being pretty crazy. I live in the same county as the YouTuber's Hillbilly Crime. She's the one who does all the talks about the case. I need to look her up in the Hillbillies family. Okay. I need to look that up because I'm interested in learning more about it. Seems like a lot of stuff, a lot of the what am I trying to a lot of media that is put out in Kentucky is negative, you know what I mean? It's like the biggest stories are like people are like, "Oh yeah, that figures, that happened there." That's like another one of them. Wanted to go that far out east. It seems absolutely beautiful. Do you have a lot of bear around you, Diamond? Have you ever seen a bear like in your backyard or like do you live in a place where they have to cage the trash because of the bears? We looked at some properties like that, and I was, like, a little nervous. That was, like, in Manchester, Kentucky, Clay County, Kentucky, and so anyways, really wanted to hop on here, and I know I mentioned it a few times, like, I was getting ready to get a surgery, and now I'm gonna be off work for a long time, and I'm going to be doing so much gardening, and, I'm gonna be getting on here and talking about some random stuff as well because as much as I don't want to be like a political channel, a social commentary channel, it it really is political in a way. Gardening, we're trying to change the way people see growing food, the way people buy the local food and everything. Like it is a political statement in and of itself, and it is an answer to a lot of things going on. When you feel helpless when that's happening right now, I just hope that if it's not gardening, it's something that you do something tangible that helps you, get away from all that because we have so much to look forward to, and I really do believe it's, like, the people who see what's so wrong about what's going on in our country right now, um, and are gonna push forward in their own positive ways, like, that's the only way we can do anything at this point. Oh, no. I almost blocked you. I live in the same county. Okay, I love London, Somerset, Barbourville, all of Central Kentucky. I would recommend for people to move to, but not East Kentucky. We do, but I've never seen one none outside of my property, but I have seen them cross the roads. Oh, yeah, that's neat. Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, there's a big bumblebee. It scared me for a second. I'm not scared of bumblebees, though. It's just like I am scared of wasps. So we thought that, like, just the crime seemed worse in Eastern Kentucky, you know, something, but like there's like some good big properties. But then when we saw, like, you know, there's just reasons like that, we didn't move. But we were always like, when we're older, don't have like small children, we might get by a mountain over there. Not gonna lie, I seen a wild chicken for the first time ever about 3 months ago, had bright red head. I ran seen your chickens and got flashbacks. Oh, that's so funny, Liam. I see turkeys a lot. I've never seen wild turkeys until and every once in a while I have to break. Now I know whereabouts on my way to work, there's, like, the most wild turkey, but there's a lot of turkeys, and they look a lot different than the turkeys you're used to seeing. They almost have, like, this, like, oily looking head. They're funny looking. We actually have them nesting near us. Like, they're definitely wild turkeys, like, if on our property, very close adjacent to it. Manchester, Kentucky is nice and very small. Perry County, the crime is bad. The next door to me, Hazard, Kentucky. There's a lot of turkey there too. It's so nice. And like I see lots of turtles. There's armadillo now, in Bernheim Forest. That was reported like a year ago. Like that's a new species to Kentucky. Like it feels like there's still like a lot of thriving wild populations here, and I like that. I like that there's more wild, unbridled nature than anything. But the rivers are still very flooded and very high, and that's concerning. Like the river we live next to, and I'm just it's crazy. Like, are they ever going down? Liam said, "I live in England, though. We don't have wild chickens, I don't think." Shot miss, to be honest. It was massive, though. It had legs like a sheep. I swear. Oh, that's so funny, Liam. I work with a man from Wales. You're making me miss him. This one of my favorite work friends is a guy that grew up here in his 30s, I think, and has lived here for like 30 years now. Probably somebody's chicken that got loose, I would guess, you know? They it was funny when my husband said he wanted to put the chicken run where it is in the trees. I was like, "Yeah, that's smart for like the heat of the summer." But I was like, "But will they like it?" And like we looked it up and it's like chickens are like derived from tropical forests, like these birds that live in the forest floor basically. So it's like, yeah, I think they'll be fine on our forest floor. We got flooded here back in July, flood of 2022. The most recent flood didn't really affect. That's good. I hope that you didn't lose anything in 2022. Flooding is a major issue here, though, in Kentucky in general. Yeah, we thought like if we moved up on a ridge, we'd be fine. That was funny. Not true. The eggs you gave me were so good. Oh, yeah, I'm glad. The nutrition is all in those eggshells. Like, you'll notice a difference. The store-bought eggs are so darn fragile compared to chickens that get, like, better nutrition. Liam said, "My oldest daughter lives in Wales. Jay lived there for 10 years, a place called Pembrokeshire." Am I saying that right? Pembrokeshire? Oh my gosh. I love history, love old buildings. I couldn't imagine going to a country where like there's 1,000-year-old buildings. Because here it's like something's 300 years old and it's very, very old, but we don't have ancient things besides like Indian ruins. Diamond, here in Eastern Kentucky, we don't get tornadoes, but the straight line winds can be very dangerous. It wind okay, it seems here there's more windy days than not like that in the mountains in Eastern Kentucky, because it's like anytime it's nice, like, I'm surprised the not blowing really hard right now because the sun's shining, it's nice outside. Usually it's, like, always windy, but still not complaining. I'm still glad we moved here. The reason why a lot of seasonal allergies aren't great, I thought getting farther away from the Ohio River Valley, I know we're still technically in it, but, like, on the edge of it, I thought that the allergies would be better, and it's a lot of people's allergies are actually worse. Lancaster, Kentucky, and Casey County, Kentucky, anywhere south or mid-central Kentucky is yes, southwestern Kentucky. I've I've been to Bowling Green. I think I've been to Paducah. I can't remember how far west I've gone in Kentucky, but I've always wanted to go over there. You know, it's like a different zone. Like the very western tip is like a different gardening zone and stuff. I always wanted to see exactly what it was like there. Seems like home prices, like Realtor.com, it seems like home prices really are very reasonable right now. I've seen lots of really good, nice I mean, I haven't been there personally. It seems like things are starting to come down, like, Kentucky is a good place for people to consider if they want to buy a home. There's, like, a lot of great first-time homes under $100,000. I've seen brick ranches, specifically in Western Kentucky. Yes, it's gonna be a smaller town, but so many people can work from home now. If you situation, I would, like, really consider Kentucky, and, um I just wouldn't want to live far west or far east where I'm at. Yeah, I Southwestern Kentucky. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Yeah. I think there's so much in Kentucky, there's something for everybody, right? We have the 3rd most amount of counties of any state. I can never say that easily. There's only 2 other states that have more counties than Kentucky, like 110 counties, something crazy, and it it's kind of neat how they will have their own little communities and everybody's, like, hate people from other counties, but at the same time, it just makes for, like, I don't know. It makes it easy to go to this county and be like, "Oh, this is what you've got going on here," and, like, Casey County is, like, a lot of Mennonite and Amish people. You wanna go there and enjoy those stores and do those things, and then you've got, like, Lake Co an hour right under it. It's just really nice, and I think that people don't realize how much we've got going on and all the beautiful scenery. And now that I have gotten this surgery, I am so excited because my life is not planned around my medical issues, and I don't have to worry about camping and, attracting a bear. I don't even wanna go into details, I don't wanna gross anybody out, but it's, like, always something you have to plan your life around when you have the kind of issues that I do, and it's absolutely liberating and freeing, and I wanted to share that with you all, but at the same time, I have some kind of survivors, is when I put these tags on this video, it's like I wanna help women on the same path, but I know there's probably gonna be a woman that's, like, in that space that I was that wants it done but can't done, or and it's just I really, like, am gonna pray every day for the rest of my life that women can find the healing that they we all deserve it. We all go through so much. Our bodies are amazingly designed. Like, we need to support them now more than ever, the same way that our soils are depleted, and we need to pay attention to that. Like, we need to pay attention to the way our bodies are depleted and take care of ourselves. And so Diamond said, "Well, things are still very costly here. They're like groceries. I've known people who move up northern and they are in shock about their food prices being so high." Yeah, we don't have a lot of Amish in this county. Yeah, next time we move, I will make don't move next to a lot of Amish communities because I personally am not a fan of sharing the roads with their horses and buggies. I'm gonna have a hot take right now, and, I hope nobody thinks I have a hateful heart, but I just don't think it's right that can be in pony carts sharing the road with 2 to 10,000-pound vehicles and 55-mile-per-hour roads. I've had little Mennonite kids on bicycles pull right out in front of me to the point where I had to swerve over into the other lane. It's like their faith in God makes them think that they don't have to follow the road. I've had horse and buggies pull out right in front of me, and it's like I don't think it should be legal. I think they should have their own roads in their own communities, and it's really horrifically sad when somebody accidentally gets into an accident and, like, people, "Why don't you just be more careful?" It's like, you don't understand what a country highway is like then because, like, there's hills, there's curves. It is really hard to be safe when there's, like, a lot of those in the road. There's my I love him so much. Come here. Come here, kitty cat. Say hi to everybody. So, she's near a lot of Amish, but she loves it. Her life has gotten so much better since she moved out there. I I like being in the countryside. We're not right near an Amish community. I'm just saying, like, down the road from us, there's a place that they frequent, and it's not safe. And, people from here will move to Central Kentucky for jobs, a better life, etcetera. Yeah, I can see that definitely more jobs, and, there seems to be a lot of job openings lately, which is good. Um And that's what I expressed, like, we made some changes because we are a one-income family, and it's still possible to be a homeowner, to live a decent life and to be able to look forward to things with your family if you, move to a cheaper cost of living. And I really hope nobody thinks that, like, I don't like Amish people. It's just like, there's, like it really is so difficult sometimes when, people romanticize their lifestyle, and you're like, I want to be a good neighbor, and I am, and I definitely like slow down not to scare their horses, and like I don't drive around with my music loud because I don't want to scare a horse, stuff like that, and um, it's just there was an accident in North recently, and I really felt for everybody involved. Like that is just so terribly sad. If one's religious beliefs can make it so that they can do things that other people without those religious beliefs couldn't, I just don't think that should be legal. That's my stance on that. And when I go to the stores and like they're not to me, I won't wear eyeliner, I don't wear mascara, I go in my glasses, I braid my hair, I wear like my baggiest jeans, and yeah, like it's I'm not treated like Aaron Atz when I go to the store, so I don't go to them anymore. And the thing about Kentucky, you do have a good paying job, it's good for you to have a garden or farm and take part in your local farmers market. You can earn a lot. Oh, your parents do that? That's awesome. So I hope to be able to have a CSA or like something like that, where at least I can have a market like one day. I also like to grow flowers. So I want to do a bowl, like an apothecary type situation where I offer dried herbs and tea, spices to like, I want to grow everything. And I'd like to have a greenhouse specifically for brassicas. It's like the bugs out here are the worst, I've ever had to deal with, but still it's manageable. And yeah, there's a big community, whatever you are, whoever you are, and people still respect each other. So yeah, I definitely respect their way of life, and I wouldn't try to change it. I'm just saying I'm gonna move to a community where I'm not slamming on my brakes. And there's nothing like coming up on a buggy at night. Those lights, it's like the oddest thing I've ever. You're like, is that a porch light? What's in the road? What's going on? Who has a candle on the side of the road? And then it doesn't make it much safer. And I like it makes my heart reel for them. Every time I see children in a horse cart, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's acceptable to send your little small children out on the road with 2 to 10,000 pound vehicles on a pony cart. And I've said it. All I need to say, I had a full hysterectomy back in 2017. Oh, really, Diamond? But that's my biggest regret. Aw, oh my gosh, you've been through a lot. I can understand that, but I love shopping at the Amish stores. Well, I'm glad that you like shopping there. But I don't know. There's something I've said it before on my channel. It's like Casey County, Kentucky is like a beautiful place. But when I've Instacarted and stuff, I felt you don't belong here type vibe more than the counties we reside in. So I prefer counties with a little more culture, a little more ethnicities, and there's nothing wrong with Casey County though. There's only a bunch of great people there. But I ask you why you regret it? I hope you're doing well now. And like I said, I do try to be respectful. Like I mean it. Like I don't wear makeup when I go into their communities. When one time I found in an Amish driveway and I seriously felt fearful of my life. Okay. I had like literally dozen or 2 dozen boys gathering around my car staring at me as I was like, I'm so sorry. I have to turn around here. It was literally the end of a road. They had to have had it happen before. For some reason, the lady I delivered to didn't open her gate and I couldn't turn around in her driveway. And she had dogs and I like put the groceries over the gate to her. And I was like, this is so scary. Like you're just staring me down because you obviously don't want me here. And they intimidate sometimes in certain ways. Nobody talks about that. Like, and then I feel like a bad person when I'm sharing things that have happened to me that genuinely did. I regret it for the kinds of reasons. I plan on doing a video about it sometime. Okay, Diamond, I really need to. I'm not good about Diamond and the Sticks. I want to make sure I subscribe to your channel. I'm not here. I'm going to take a screenshot right now because then I will have your name for sure. And hopefully I'll be able to find your channel by looking that up. The closest Amish like store in Pike County and Knott County, they're Mennonites. Okay, so yeah, Mennonites. They are like the kindest people I've ever met. Basically, we were a Mennonite family helped us install our first wood stove, invite us to Thanksgiving. They did not make us feel like that, but however, they did like abruptly stop talking to us. And I always joked with my husband, it must have been my fault because they were like friendlier with him and I was working most of the time. So it's like, it is what it is. I think that they realized like we aren't churchgoers or whatever, but they're very friendly and helped us a ton. And, it was actually kinda like I said I was gonna try to work on Thanksgiving, and they said, "We'll pay you. What would you make? We'll pay you so you can come to our house." Like, that's how badly they wanted me to go to the family Thanksgiving or whatever. Of course, I didn't accept their money. I said, "No, you're not gonna," and I didn't get offered the shift anyways, like, it wouldn't have been right to take their money, like, they didn't offer it to the employees anyways, that was at Amazon. But, every other Mennonite person I've came into contact with, they're that's, like, what I feel like, like, the love of Jesus of other people no matter what, like, you can live your life however you choose, but, like, Amish people, oh, some of them, not all of them, and I've seen this on YouTube, people that have left them say this, they think everybody that doesn't live like them is to Hell, and not all of them, but, like, this one lady, she said she just knew every time her mom said that, she knew in her heart, it was like a knife in her heart, like, "That's not true, God, that's not Jesus," and she just knew she didn't wanna be a part of that, and, like, I have to say it every single time, I know not all Amish people are like that, but the fact is a lot of them are, and you feel that as an empathetic person in their community, like, they look at you of the world, and these are people that are so, um oh, of course, Diamond, I wanna follow every other Kentuckian I can, and, I think that it's important, like, especially with everything that everybody's going through right now, like, I think a lot of us just want genuine people, right? I'm trying to be, like, an open book here because, uh especially with all my issues. I kinda thought when I started making videos again, I had precancerous lesions for years, and no doctor would help me until it invaded other organs. I almost thought, like, this might be the way my children can experience my thoughts after I'm gone or something, like, I'm gonna document what I feel about certain things, if anything, for people that care about me when I'm gone. So, it's like a kind of a morbid thing to think, um, it's really messed up. There was times where I was waiting for biopsy hope to get bad results, and that's shameful because I've lost friends to cancer in their 30s, and that's so horrible, like, what a horrible thing to think and want, and I would shame myself, like, how could you because it was like there would be no end until that. To have this doctor who's a real healer, who actually took my symptoms seriously, gaslight me, and then give me, a bunch of other things she wanted to put me through until like, I did have to get a biopsy done by her, because I had had a recent smear, and, um I'm so sorry, Diamond. I have a good friend who had, rectal and breast cancer when she passed when she was 34 years old, so, she would be 40 now, and I think about her all the time. She was a Kentuckian, she was such a great person, like a magnet, like, everywhere we went, people were attracted to her. It's almost like people, like, know she was and maybe how limited her time on earth here was, and, yeah. It is something that like, whatever you wanna do with your life, you can do it, like, whatever goals you have, as you work towards those, like, you can do it, like, people think that it's crazy we have a farm, I know it's not crazy, I know one day we will have a legit farm, and, um, I hope everything's well today, Diamond. There's, like, so many people that it's just, like, have humbled me, and I go to look at hysterectomy, and there's younger than me that have been like, I think I've been through a lot, and it's just like, we've all through so much, and just every day without pain is a blessing. It's like being on vacation, really. Every day in a half functioning, healthy body is truly a blessing from God, whatever you believe in. Diamond said that cancer is a bad thing here in Kentucky, especially East Kentucky. All cancers are bad. Tons of people from Eastern Kentucky get cancer. Sometimes I think it's because of the ex-coal mining, but I don't know. I think you're right. The mountaintop blasting was something we were trying to avoid because when the methods of just blasting the top of the mountain off to extract the coal has poisoned groundwater, streams, still all around, and have, like, they've proven, like, oh, a lot of these kids, that live in those places have learning disabilities, and they're poisoned from it too, and it's so unfortunate. In Indiana, when we went to buy our first house, we found out about proving grounds, and it's places where basically the military, our government has stored chemicals that they just cannot get rid of easily. They'll just bury in the ground, like things that are horribly toxic, radioactive, anything you can think of, old weapons. And there's so many beautiful places in Indiana, particularly Madison, Indiana. It's along the Kentucky border, southern Indiana, beautiful historic town. Just Indiana is so precious and it's so toxic and it's such a shame. And it's like it got to the point where I just had to, like, give it up to God, you know, like, you have to be aware and try to do good about what you put in and around your body. Time you it's just it's so horrible and awful. It's like, kinda have to accept, like, God's will and yeah. Um, we try to be good about plastic, like, I've always avoided plastic for my kids, like, for years now, like, glass jars have been our cups, you know, we use Corelle plates, like and then I got rid of a bunch of vintage stuff I had, even, like, vintage Corelle I got rid of. It really like, I bake mostly glassware, like, our casserole dishes and a lot of stuff. I even had glass pans, but those handles break off really easily. So now I just get, like, good stainless steel pans. I'm so glad you ran into me too, Diamond, because I kinda run my mouth a lot, and then, you know, I feel bad. I already feel bad about saying the things that I did about people, but, like, I am glad that you, like, aren't leaving me for good, and I hope everybody understands, you know, I'm just trying to, like, give my opinion, and I really do look at every person as, like, we were all once innocent bees. We were all brought into this world, and something things formed our personality. And like, yeah, you're born with certain things, but for the most part, we are products of our environment. And um, I, I'm just trying to do what I can do to be the best person and mom and neighbor. And that's what I told this doctor. Like, you need to be a better person and mom and wife and employee and like it's just it's amazing what good healing and yeah, that's awesome, Diamond. Um, something very healing about coming back to the state I was born in, and years ago, this hippy dippy lady I spoke to on Facebook, I never saw her like one of those people that was like all into natural things, told me like you're ready and you will never be really in true alignment until you are near the actual physical forces, like especially rocks. If you were born in a place of limestone, I've always felt an affinity for limestone. I don't care how goofy that sounds. It's just the way it is. I always wanted to live near rocks and more like mountainous regions. And there's to certain places, certain people have, and I think there's like a million reasons why any one person might be drawn to Kentucky, whether or not, you know, you were like born here. But I'm really excited to share more of Kentucky with you guys. I've taken a lot of beautiful videos. I just like I don't want to give anybody motion sickness. I need to get out of my car more and like this spring season has like brought a new like with the surgery and everything, a new lease on life for me. And I want to share that with you all. Come here, kitty cat. And show what can be done in one season. In this garden bed we just had tilled, like especially flowers and zinnias. They're such easy flowers to grow. They grow anywhere. Come here. That's the okay, so this is Token. Um, we adopted him, he was an outside cat, and, like, we were gonna keep him outside because we had a cat inside. Unfortunately, she passed, like, within weeks of us getting him. His way inside because he wanted to be an inside boy for, like, a year, and now he wants to go outside after a year being in solid year of being inside. Like, a month ago, he's like, "I wanna be outside again now." So, we've gotten in a routine where we let him out during the day, but we keep him in at night because I worry about him so much, you know, like, of course, there's, like, a ton of other outdoor cats around here because there's barns and everything on our street, and he got in one cat fight, but that was before he got neutered, and I'm, like, worried he might get in another cat fight. But he kills all sorts of vermin. He kills a lot of mice, and my husband said there's, like, 3 dead moles the other day. Um, he's great, and but it's nerve-wracking having a cat that goes outside. I worry about him a lot. I want him to be around for a long time. His right eye is watering. I'm hoping it's just allergies, but we might have to get some antibiotics from the vet. My kid's looking at me from the window. I think I should probably, because he's gonna wanna come take a turn on the swing now that he sees me. And, I know there's probably some things that I forgot, but I hope everybody's doing well. Once again, if you think of anything you wanna hear me talk about, leave it in a comment. I really hope everybody is having a great weekend, enjoying the weather, and if you are getting ready for surgery, good luck to you. Keep a positive mindset. I went to sleep, like, thanking the surgeons, and I woke up happy and peacefully, and I just want that for everybody. I want that for everybody that has any medical issue that they have to go through. Nobody should have to, like, suffer through things. We are very blessed with all the technology we have, and as much as I would have liked to heal myself naturally, and trust me, I tried. I tried all the tricks. I tried the essential oil suppositories. I tried the boric acid suppositories. I tried diet. I tried Noviron. Medicine came up by eye that is a lot of good herbs, as long as as well as zinc and other minerals that synergistically are supposed to help the immune system fight HPV. I took 6 months at a time. I took Pet Pillow Care internally, a topical ointment made in Italy from a country who actually cares about whether or not they're advanced cervical cancer, because they have socialized medicine there and they actually have to pay more for it. So over there, they actually don't want you to get cancer. You have to laugh at it. You have to laugh at it. Even though it's horrific, the reality we live in isn't nice. But if you can see it for what it is, like, and focus on like what you want to do, there are so much for all of us in this world. And permaculture, gardening, like whatever I'm not going to get now from not having a uterus, like I know this, I'm just going to say it. I've already felt it. It was sad to lose that part of me as a woman, even though I know I don't want more kids. There still was a process of grief and realizing like this is like this organ that has given me my kids leaving, and it's kind of sad. But whatever I whatever I got from being reminded of my fertility, I'm gonna get tenfold from this beautiful, huge garden I'm getting ready to start. A lot of it I want to perennialize, and I want to be able to show in a few years, let alone just 1 year, what you can do to a property. And my goal is like to sell this property and move on to the next and just doing it. Like, not just to improve the house, but to improve the infrastructure and the land and make it so, like, could you imagine if just like 1% of us have of installing a permanent perennial herb garden, really good garden plots, and a closed loop system in every place that we could, every place that had almost an acre, like here. Like that, I believe, can turn the ship around, and it really needs it the most. So, thanks everybody. I got to be out here way longer than I anticipated, and I hope that everybody has a great weekend. I'm a huge open book. Any questions, please leave them below. My email is in the description of my channel if you want to post something public. And yeah, so take care, everybody.